Expert care from people who care. Hello, today we are at the Outreach Teen and Family Services office. Today we are going to be covering making friends in college, what people don't talk about, and what maybe we want to get prepared for before college.
I'm Lily.
I'm Faith.
And I'm Sara. And I'm Isabel.
So we're going to start off with a fast five, which is some quick questions. Would you rather drink apple cider or hot chocolate?
It depends on the time of year, but right now I'll say hot chocolate, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to say apple cider for that one.
I'm going to go hot chocolate.
Apple cider. 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next would be Halloween or Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving because it's right before Christmas and it's just unmatched to me.
I would agree with that. I like to just be able to eat whatever I want all day.
Yes.
I just love Halloween so much. I love getting dressed up and all the spooky stuff, so that's what I have to go with.
I love Halloween too. I love getting dressed up with my friends and our matching costumes, and then also going to haunted. Me and my friends have a tradition where we go to the haunted house late at night, and then it's just so fun to have those traditions.
Mm-hmm.
Next is mashed potatoes or turkey.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to say turkey.
I'm gonna say neither. I hate
Oh,
Thanksgiving
no.
food. I hate Thanksgiving food. Okay. I know I'm weird.
Okay.
Next is, do you love or hate Black Friday shopping?
I'm going to say both because I love the deals, but I hate the lines.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you can't go wrong with getting, 2 sweatshirts for, $20 or
Yeah.
something, so.
I feel like it's kind of overrated because it over the past 10 years it's kind of died down. It's
Yeah.
nothing like it was in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't able to experience that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think the deals aren't even good anymore. So I
They're not that good.
I don't even try.
No. I like Black Friday shopping on my computer at home because so many of the deals are online now.
Mm-hmm.
So I can do it in the warmth of my living room with my fire on, with hot apple cider in my hand, just shopping away, spending all my mom's money. Okay, next and last would be relax. Would you like a relaxed or busy Thanksgiving break?
Relax. I don't want to do anything.
I'm
Yeah.
going to say relax.
Me too. I like to be relaxed. I feel like it's such a busy time of year.
Mm-hmm.
We'd like to take a moment to express our gratitude to St. Clair Health. They have been our steadfast annual sponsor, supporting our podcast for 5 consecutive years now.
At St. Clair Health, we're always improving, building on our commitment to face the challenges of today, making an impact on the communities we serve, so we can be stronger together. St. Clair Health, expert care from people who care.
All right, and I think just moving into what we want to discuss today, did we want to just cover kind of what our own experiences have been so far making friends in college? Sure. I think for me, since I'm going in or in my last year, I think to start it was very just a difficult adjustment because I think the biggest difference I found is that in college you have to try a lot harder to make friends with people. It's not something that it just comes as naturally as it does when you're in high school. I think is the thing that I found out kind of immediately going into school.
Yeah. I'm going to say, I would agree with that because, in middle school, you kind of, start, forming your friend groups. And then when you get to high school, you, have that friend group, per se. But college for me was a little different. I went to a big school, and then I transferred to a smaller school.
Yeah.
So, when I transferred, it was definitely harder to make friends because, I was coming in to the second semester, so I kind of felt behind. I feel like everyone kind of already had their groove and who they liked and didn't like, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I then found friends through classes, and since I'm on a team, I met more of my teammates and kind of we kind of bonded through that. So that was a nice leadway into making those friends.
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
I agree that it's kind of a thing that people think you need to make friends at the very start because then people don't make friends after that. It's kind of you find who you vibe with and then you stick with that. But I don't think that has to you have to stop making friends after freshman year. I think that as you go through college, you really like learn more about yourself and the people around you, and like the people around you change because I feel like especially at the start, you do have to put in a lot of effort, and you kind of, at least this isn't like generalized, but like for me, I kind of tried to be friends with everybody, and then it was just like, okay, who am I gonna actually like be friends with? But I think that could be like a way you could go about it, but that was my experience. But also, you don't have to try to be friends with everybody.
And like Lily, you're going into college soon. Is there any like fears that you have or apprehension going into it?
Yes, well, definitely, because I see like a lot on Instagram where like, hey, I'm blah blah blah, going to this school, majoring in this, I love to do this, reach out if you want to be like roommates or friends. And I do love seeing those, especially at the schools that I'm like really considering looking at, and like maybe I'll like reach out to a few of them and like talking about even like being roommates with one girl I'm talking to right now. But like sometimes I'm like, I don't know this girl, like how do I know we're gonna get along? There's definitely those concerns. And then like obviously like I'm gonna get to college and I'm not going anywhere near like a lot of my friends. I want to go to like my own little school and like grow myself. So I think like definitely the fear of like not having that like steady friendship to rely on that you can like right turn to if you like don't have anyone to hang out with is definitely something that scares me.
We were talking about like seeing people like and talking to them through like social media. Do you think that like influences what you do or don't want in like making friends?
For sure. I mean, like I can tell like from like some of the people who have posted, I'm like, no, I don't think like we would get along. Like just like from like we just don't look like we have the same interests or like all that stuff. So like I definitely think that like makes me like a lot of the people on the page here like don't look like they have the same similarities as me. Like maybe this one school wouldn't be the right fit for me. So like definitely that's like kind of a concern for me. But I think it's gonna work out how it works out. So I don't know how to take that from there, but it'll all happen as it happens.
No, I definitely get that. I think social media too, I think it, not to say that it's enabled people to be a little bit isolated, but it's definitely added to a certain stigma that because we have online connections that the in-person connections aren't necessarily as important, but like what you're doing, going to a different school and trying to create your own world, that is such a major thing, especially because when you're going into your early 20s, I think that's such a huge part of that time of your life.
I also feel like on media people will like up themselves, if that makes sense.
Which I've definitely like found. I was like, some of the stuff I'm seeing, I'm like,
because then it's like behind the scenes, what are they really
like? Exactly.
Like, it's hard to tell through like just a couple photos and like this and that, but for sure.
And do we think like different types of media, like shows, movies, have also kind of put a different stigma on making friends in college? Is that something we think exists today?
I would say so. This is kind of like backtracking in high school, but like when I watched High School Musical growing up, I'm not even kidding you. I thought like, oh my god, it's gonna be like High School Musical, and it was not. I can tell you that. Because it started with COVID, and then I feel like, honestly, COVID in high school affected the way, like, I made friends. I mean, I was just a freshman, so, like, it was definitely difficult just, like, being with people on laptops. But I'm trying to think of, like, other shows that have, like, college in it. Kind of High School Musical was, like, a big one for me. I was just always like, do we really just get to, like, dance around and, like...
sing every day. I think like any college-based show, it's so dramatized and everything is so intense that I remember being like, it's gonna be the most dramatic time of my life, and it's really just not at all that serious. But I get what you're saying with High School Musical too, and I like the point you brought up with COVID, because I think so many of us were kind of halted in that social sense. And I know because that kind of was in my senior year of high school. So when I was going into college, I definitely felt at a disadvantage because I had been away from people for so long, and then that was something that I think a lot of us are still getting over.
For sure.
I was in 6th grade.
6th grade?
Oh my god.
I
That makes me feel so
I know.
I was so utterly shocked when you guys said
I
that.
always wondered what it was like for like the younger kids.
Yeah,
Like,
what
just
was
felt
it
no
like?
wrong.
In like middle school. No, literally it feels so
So
long.
many, what happened to me?
Okay, for me, I was like, so weird because I didn't think it was gonna last that long. So I was like, texting my friends, I'll like see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was so weird. Especially like going back to school. Maybe I came back in 7th grade, like second semester, our school started again. And we had like not all like seen each other and like talked to each other. And it was like weird conversations, like very awkward. And like I feel like there was a like crucial growing up period between 6th and 7th grade.
Yeah.
And like everyone hadn't hit that, so it was like definitely like delayed like maturity, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the kind of person who like I was like kind of mature like my 6th grade year. Like I loved like I don't know, I just felt like older than everyone else. So like I definitely felt like more uncomfortable. I was like, why are these people like at my level yet? Like it's been a year.
What are we doing?
But I think it was definitely strange because like we all I think are like delayed in like figuring out in our abilities to like make decisions by ourselves, trust our decisions. Even like a loyalty to our friends, I think like hasn't been exactly like kept because I think everyone's like, oh, still in a little bit of a mess trying to like mature from like friendships that like we're in 6th grade and like they came back in 7th grade and now we're like seniors in high school and they're still like there, but like I think it's just like everyone's like tied together by like that trauma in middle school. So it's a very interesting dynamic still. I think it definitely affects everyone.
There's like that term like COVID brain where like people got stuck at like the age that they were in the pandemic, and I felt that so hard. Like I felt like I was 17 going into college, and then that like kind of stayed for the longest time, and then randomly I was like, actually maybe I am the age that I am. I don't know when this happened, but like
I feel like I never felt that because like I would like loved growing up. I love getting older, and I think that's like kind of like one of my weird things that I like love getting older.
That's a good
and I love,
thing.
like,
That is a good
and,
thing.
like maturing. Like I find it like so fun. But there's definitely people who are like still like in their middle school brains. Like they're like talking about college and they're like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. And like there's me who's like, I've known what I wanted to do since freshman year. I've like known what colleges I want to look at and like what like my top schools are. Like I've been such an organized person. I think there's definitely like a kind of mix up there with like the maturity levels of like making that big decision.
Yeah, I think with that too, like you might like college a lot more. It's like you might find it. That's immediately what I got from that. Like the vibe that I picked up, because I think you'll find that the maturity level will just suit you a lot better, especially with like making friends too. You might not run into that same issue, hopefully.
College is also a lot more like independent.
Yeah.
I love like because it's like you kind of just get to like start fresh and like just pick what you want your life to be at that point.
I am a very independent person. Like I love being independent, and I like was talking to like school counselor about this. I was like, I can't wait to go to college so I can like really embrace my independence and like join the clubs and like do all that things. Like I'm so excited. A question I think we should definitely cover is, do you prefer like big circles of friends or like a small circle?
I don't know how. Okay, so I learned the hard way that like a bigger circle of friends doesn't necessarily mean all of those people in that circle are going to be true to you. So like I've been through my share of like different friends, whether it's like from class or just like on my teams throughout my life or just like in clubs and things like that. And I found that like the smaller circle, the better. It doesn't hurt to have a big circle because it just opens up connections with people, and you don't know who like you're going to become best friends with and who you're going to kind of like fall out with, which isn't necessarily always a bad thing. But I've just found personally that like having a small circle of people who are at like a foundational like relationship with you and like you know you can always rely on is better than having like just a couple friends here and there, like if they want to like go to a party but then they're not there for you like when you really need them, if that makes sense.
And that kind of reminded me, like Isabel, you mentioned early on that you wanted to make friends with everyone at the start. Do you think that has changed for you the more that you've been in school?
I think so. I think like I still have a intuitive like like I'm gonna be nice. Like, not,
Yeah.
Maybe not always. Well, I'm not always trying to be like the best or like perfect, but I think that being friendly is something that I try to be. But yeah, I'm not trying to like prove something or trying to like prove that I can make friends, because I feel like that was like a weird mental thing going on my freshman year, was like I don't have enough people around me, or like I don't have a big enough circle. But yeah, I think you should be allowed like be friendly and like but also be allowed to like be selective with who you surround yourself with, because I personally kind of have, I don't know if I would consider my friends like a big circle, but I enjoy like the times that we all have together, but I enjoy even more the times individually or like with two other people, because then I feel like I can talk more. It's like just a little more comfortable for me. Like as a person, I feel like I thrive better in like smaller groups. But when you do have like a big circle and you get everyone together, that can be fun too. But like you were saying, like having the foundational friends who like you can really just rely on, I think is a great thing to have.
Kind of off of that, like I started off high school with a huge group of friends, and then like we all like kind of had a friendship breakup, like not like a on purpose breakup. We just had a summer we all grew apart. And then I definitely started making like all these new friends, and I think I'm at the point where I'm at. I have like multiple different small friend groups who all get along, so when we're all together we're great. But like even when I'm like with my like choir friends, my golf friends, like they all get along, and I think that's such a special thing. It's like having so many small like friend groups, like even like 3, and then everyone like comes together and like gets along so well. So it's not like a big friend group, but it's also not like you just have a few friends. Like I don't know if that makes sense.
Like it's not limited.
It's not limited. And everyone gets along, and I think that's such a special thing.
No, I definitely get what you're saying. I think also in high school I found that I had a lot of friends, and then when I went to college, I was the people that I stayed in contact with, I was like, oh, those are the genuine connections that I had fostered in that time, versus just knowing a lot of people and kind of being friendly and okay with them. And then when you're in college, I think I realized having a smaller group of friends, I was able to conserve my own energy a lot more than trying to extend it, because when you go to school, when you're in college, just a lot more comes with that. So I realized that I was getting exhausted trying to keep a bunch of people in my life all at the same time. Like I don't have any energy to do what I'm supposed to really be here for, type of thing.
Sorry. I was gonna say, like, bouncing off of that, the relationships that you have, like, going into college, it should be, like, two-sided. Like, I found myself my freshman year of college, like, trying to, like, reach out to people that, like, didn't really seem to care, which is kind of sad to say, but, like, it made me realize really fast, like, okay, like, if this person's not gonna try as hard as I am, then, like, I'll just distance myself. Not in, like, a bad way, but friendships should definitely stay two-sided. Like, how are you doing? Oh, good. Like, just having, like, genuine, even if it's just, like, a FaceTime call a week or something like that.
Yeah, and I think that, like, different friendships kind of serve different purposes. So, like, I have friends who I may not see every week, but when I do see them, or, like, choose, or, like, somehow we plan to hang out, it's, like, it's really fun, and we can catch up. But there are other people who I see a lot more often, or, like, maybe every other week. Like, I feel like you don't have to expect the same thing from everybody. You don't have to expect everyone to be your best friend, but you can still have people who it's like, oh, I don't see you as much, but I love you.
Yeah,
I love that.
I like the distinction you make, because I do think we always have an emphasis on everyone has to be a super best friend or a super close friend, versus just people you're allowed to, like, be friendly with and cool with, and they fit in a different part of your life rather than being forced into one little area. So do we have, like, any specific tips that we've learned on how to reach out and put yourself out there when it comes to making friends, kind of building off of what we've been talking about?
I guess something that, like, personally has, like, worked / like, not worked. I always kind of just say, like, you never know unless you try. So I had a friend, she was in my philosophy class, and she said she decided to talk to me one day because she saw me looking at Noah Con tickets on my computer, and I was
Incredible.
like, wait, that's so funny, because like she like kind of like didn't really pay attention either, and like I did, but you know sometimes you just get like sidetracked, and then we became
Yeah.
friends off that, and like there have been instances where like I'll talk to people randomly, just like I don't know if it's out of like intuition or just like I feel like talking to this person. And like sometimes beautiful things come out of that. So I kind of just like you never know unless you try or unless you talk to someone. Because the worst thing that could happen is the person's just rude and then you never talk to them again. So but that's just my experience.
No, I really like that because I used to be such like a small talk hater, and then when I got to school, I was like any conversation that I had in class like could be labeled as small talk, but then those people I would like that was able to come out of the classroom just through those like little interactions.
Yeah.
So I really like that, and I think also joining any clubs and just like the work that you do, and like if you have to have a job, like I know that I had to like throughout college, those connections are definitely like also places that I thought like I was able to make the most out of that for sure.
I would say I would agree with like what you guys were saying, but I don't know. I feel like being the first to reach out to people. I know that's kind of like can be a daunting thing, but and if other people do reach out to you, then like saying yes to like whatever comes your way, and that doesn't mean you have to do everything that like every opportunity that comes your way, but I know that my close friend, like I got close to my one friend because they were like, do you want to get McDonald's after this, like after a party? And I was like, yes. And we hung out like the whole night, and if we didn't do that, then like we wouldn't be as close. So I just think like it's like the little things can sort of lead into growth. So.
Yeah.
And Lily, like, did you have anything to kind of add to that, like through the high school lens of it anyway?
Through the high school lens, I definitely like from what I've like taken is like I go away for the summers, I go to golf camp, and I go away for a long time, and I kind of disassociate from like Pittsburgh. That's like everyone knows that, my close friends know that. But there's definitely those few friends that like even though they know I'm like really locked into getting better, and like my friends from all over the world, they'll still reach out to me and they'll FaceTime me, and I think they're like the friendships where you like you don't always see each other are so special when like you can like still get along so well. And like I come home and like we haven't seen each other for 6 weeks. I'm just talking about my best friend specifically, and it was like heaven. It was like we like ran to each other and hugged. It was like a movie. It was so sweet. I just really think I got really close with her like really quickly, and I think that is like such a genuine friendship. Is like the friendships where you can be so far apart and still talk all the time, and then you can come back and it's like nothing, like there's no time in between the last time you saw each other.
That kind of reminds me, like me and some of my friends that like live further away, we call each other like our low maintenance friends.
So funny.
It's like, you know, like you don't see each other as much, but like you still talk here and there, but like you still know you love each other so much, and like when you see each other it's like no time passed. But it's also like reciprocated that like you don't need to be like knowing each other's every move every second, and it's just so nice to have friends like that. It kind of just like takes away from the like stress of like worrying if you're gonna stay friends or not, because you know you always will be friends. But
that kind of reminds me of something that like a different friend and I like will do, because I feel like there are like high maintenance friends or like where you kind of have to put in a lot of effort to sort of feel like there's a flow or like comfortability. But my one friend and I, he told me like this story about where his friends and him like ran into a bear.
Right.
Naturally.
Yeah. Right.
Don't ask me how this connects, but he was like, we need a word that like breaks the social barrier when we see each other again. And so
I like that actually. That's really good.
It's lemon bear.
Oh, okay.
Because I think lemon bear was like their word for like, oh my god, the bear's in front of us, we have to say lemon bear. But like, I don't know, I need to clear up that story. But now, if there ever is like awkwardness, like in either of our heads, because it's never like that serious, we'll just be like, lemon bear, like a little laugh. And
That's
I
great.
think it's a funny way to be like aware of
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really like all the little stories that we've shared so far. They're all so cute. And we just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge St. Clair Health. We are deeply grateful for their generous sponsorship for this episode in the 5 seasons of Teen Tap In.
At St. Clair Health, we're always improving, building on our commitment to face the challenges of today, making an impact on the communities we serve so we can be stronger together by creating reliable resources that recognize all of our neighbors with access to the highest quality healthcare, advanced care close to home, and a shared humanity that delivers on our joint vision to create a healthier community for all. St. Clair Health, expert care from people who care.
So Lily, since you're the next on board to go to college, have you ever heard of it's like, don't room with your best friend, like your freshman year of college? Because I've heard like horror stories about that.
That's such a good point to bring up.
But then I've also heard like, oh my god, like it's the best thing ever.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of horror stories.
Yeah.
Like tons and tons and tons and tons of horror stories. And I've heard terrible like freshman year like roommate stories. But then I've also heard like such wonderful things.
Mhm.
But like my take on that from like going into college is like I don't want to be like with my best friends at college. Like I want to grow like separately from them and like not have that attachment like in college and like only be with them. So I think that like those horror stories even like came into my mind when I was like applying to the college that I'm applying or like making my top like 5 list, because like I do want like to be by myself and like grow and make new friends. But that's kind of who I am. My friends definitely like don't want to room with people either that they know. I think that's like a big thing. Like people don't like rooming with people they're like really close with because they want to make new friends.
Yeah.
And I think that's like super special that like even if you like go to like the same college, you can like have you be really close friends and then have your roommates also become friends through you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a good like bond is like built like through multiple people, and I think that's really special. And I think that's like kind of what I'm taking into college. Is like if there's like a girl from like a neighboring township who's also going to the school I end up going to, TBD. I think like yes, there's a great chance like we could room together because we could like get to know each other over the summer and like when we both commit and stuff. And I think that would be really special. Like, but like I don't want to roommate with someone that's like goes to my school or that I'm really close with.
Yeah.
So I think like I like the idea of like someone like in the realm
of
like Pittsburgh. But like don't love the idea of like someone I could like drive to in like 2 minutes, you know?
Yeah. I feel like that's a good way to look at it. I mean, like having someone that's like from around, but like you said, not 2 minutes away, is like a good way to just like expand your horizon of friends, and then like make friends with the people on your floor too. That's what I did in my freshman year. I feel like that's really important. But I feel like as the years go on, you kind of like see who you're like friends with and who you can like room with. Because right now it's kind of crazy. I live with 3 of my best friends, but like I mean we are juniors now, but like it took us a while to get there, if that makes sense. So like. Yeah, that's just I like what you said though.
I like that a lot too because I remember like a thing that I had heard about before going into my freshman year was like the keep your door open like the first week so people can just kind of like come in and out, and I hated that idea. But my roommate and she was someone that I hadn't met at all prior to, she was so big on making friends and she kind of pushed me to like doing that, and we did end up meeting so many people during that week, and some we didn't continue to talk to. But I remember even just like having that encouraging push, even though she was kind of a stranger at that time, made me feel a lot better, because sometimes I think you do have to be kind of thrown into the deep end a little bit, for lack of a better word anyway.
I remember at the beginning of my freshman year, my like hometown best friend goes to Pitt and I go to Point Park, so we're like a 20-minute bus ride away. And at the start I was, you know, thinking like I don't have enough friends, like nobody knows me here, I am like just feeling kind of just lost. But so my mind kind of went to like I need to transfer, like I need to go be with my best friend at Pitt. Like why what am I doing here? And because like it just all seems so much better in my head, like rooming with somebody I already know when in my situation right now like it doesn't that way at all. So that's how I felt at the time. But looking back, I'm so grateful that I didn't like transfer after like 2 weeks or like make a decision that big, because I just let things kind of play out, and I'm happy that I did, because I'm just glad like the things happened the way they did.
You didn't resort to like the comfortability of like trying to find someone close to you. I remember my freshman year, there was like this like freshman like I wouldn't call it like a meet and greet, but like basically there was like this little like park area, and me and my roommate just went, and like there was just a bunch of freshmen, and we literally just like went up to random people, and we were like, hey, we're Sara and Jenna, like blah blah blah, and like we were just like, and some people were like they would just like give us like the stink eye, like if it was like a sorority girl, and we were like, okay, sorry we bothered you. But then there were some people that like were on our floor next to us, but no hate to sorority girls at all.
No,
but like
sorority girl right here.
no hate to them, but the one girl, she did not want like she was just but there were some people that we met at that time that I think she's still friends with, so it's nice to see.
And sometimes you do have those encounters, and it's so easy to be discouraged from those alone. But the biggest thing is you just kind of have to push through, because it's just like some people, they're just not your people. And that also took me a while to understand, is that not everyone is going to be best for your life or going to suit your personality the best, and that's also totally okay. It doesn't mean anything about who you are as a person, which it took me a while to I think understand that my freshman year for sure. And do we think that like friendships can change as we go through different semesters? And even like Lily, throughout high school, do you think that you've also had that experience where friendships have changed over time?
Yes. I don't think like 3/4 of my friends from like freshman year I like haven't talked to since like freshman year. And I think that's like kind of what's so special is like I found what I like to do in high school. Like I like to volunteer. I like to be an advocate for people with disabilities. I like to golf. Like I like to do musical. Like I found all those things, and like through that I found people with the same interests. And those have become my close friends. Like before that I was like just friends with like people in all different sports or people in all, and I found like closer friends who I can relate to more. And I think that's like really highlighted in my life, like how friends can change, but like there's still some of the people from freshman year that like I haven't talked to in a while, but they'll still wave to me in the hallway. And I think that's so special, is like bonds might not be as close, and like you might not even talk anymore, but like it's just good to like have someone that you can wave to and like just say hi to. I think it's a super sweet thing.
Yeah, I like that a lot, because I don't think that every friendship has to be long or last your entire life for it to still be meaningful. Sometimes people come into your life when they're meant to, and they also leave when they're supposed to. And it doesn't have to mean anything other than that, I think. So I really like that.
I like the idea of that. I feel like sometimes like people change, but not for the worse, and you kind of just like fall out, but like you don't have any bad blood. So
I think times like that are so special, because like I definitely have friends that I'm not as close with anymore, but I definitely like still like cherish the memories I've had with them. Like short-term friendships that like maybe they lasted like maybe like a month and a half, like but we had great times like in that really close period. And I still like see them in the hallway and be like smile at them, because like just like think I see them and I get so reminded of like the good memories, and like maybe we just had a small like we just didn't talk as much anymore, like it's such a natural thing to happen. But like this bond is still like there, it's just not as prominent.
And I think there's definitely pressure on keeping friends for an extended period of time, because if you're moving through friends, that may be seen like as a bad thing. But I don't view that like that at all, because it never has to be a dramatic thing if you're not friends with someone anymore. But there's definitely a lot of pressure into thinking that it's a bad thing if you stop being friends with someone, when you can truly just grow apart, and it means nothing else other than that.
Sometimes I feel like friends are kind of like for just a season. Like I like really believe that like sometimes people come into your life, whether like they just like teach you a lesson or like help you through a hard time, but then if you fall out, you fall out. But so yeah, I agree. I don't think like short term is like considered a bad thing.
Yeah, and like I feel like we also just change so much as people that like you may make friends with somebody at the start of the school year because of some circumstance, but then you're living your lives and just things around you change, things at like you as a person change. So I just feel like like there is no like negative connotation to like drifting apart. I mean there can be, but it's not always.
And I think kind of building off of that, that was something that going into college I was worried about, like friends that I had in high school, if I was going to continue to be friends with them. So are there any other things that we wish we would have known about socializing in college before we went that we can like kind of think about? Or Lily, anything that you're concerned about moving forward?
When I say I'm so scared of going to college, but so excited. I'm not kidding. I'm so scared of like jumping into like the making new friends period. But like I've also heard such great things about like you learned so much during that time. Like the first week is like the most life-changing time. I think I'm most nervous about like how do you like manage not always wanting to do the things your friends do, but like also the pressure to like go out and like make the new friends with your friends. Like I know I'm the kind of person who like I get like a little overstimulated. Like when I go out too much, like once like every once in a while it's like good for me, and I know like I know what's best for me, but like I also don't want to have like FOMO.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue I had, because anytime I would miss going out, I did have FOMO. But I think it kind of goes back to something I said earlier. I realized that energy can't be given out the same way in college. You have to be able to conserve it because it's so the work is way more independent. It's a lot of you setting your own schedule, and I think also with that is you learn so much about setting your own boundaries, and that is a big part of friends in college, that you just kind of don't get to learn the same way in high school. So kind of what I can say with that is like you just have to listen to yourself and your own intuition with that, and then obviously like I think with your potential roommate or your friends, it's also a really good like litmus test, because if they're forcing you or pressuring you to go out when you're not wanting that also like showcases that maybe they're not the greatest influence or person that you want to have around necessarily.
I think that's a good point. I feel like it's good to know like your options and like the things you can do to meet people or like go out, but you should never feel like pressured to have to make a decision on what you want to do, because like it's already a big enough change in your life, and you're already trying to like adjust or like find your way and like discover yourself. So I mean, I feel like a way that like something that can like help with that, as like it might sound cliche, like just like take a walk around your campus. I used to do it all the time, and like find your favorite little spot, and like if you just need like time to yourself, if like everything's overwhelming, like you just spend a little bit of time there. That's what I do personally.
I've grown to like appreciate time by myself like so much, because you just are, especially at the start, trying to like connect with people, and then once you are in it, you know, you have different networks, but you're also doing schoolwork, and then you could have a job, you could be doing clubs, and I agree. Like I love going around just like a walk and listening to music, or finding like some random third space around your campus, because that time by yourself, it's really nice. It's really cool.
Definitely something that I also worry about, and I'm sure a lot of other people in my position worry about, is like being judged by my peers for not either wanting to go out or like wanting to stay in so much. Not that I'd want to stay in so much, but like those times where like maybe there's a big party going on, like I just can't do it. Or,
yeah. I think it's important to know that you'll find the people that will want to stay in with you, because like even I know like going out's like a whole big new thing like in college, but like maybe I'm biased, but sometimes it gets old fast.
It can get very old.
Like the same music, the same environment, the same like it'll be really fun, and like people will want to do it a lot, but it'll be quicker to like want to like do other things too, if that makes sense, because it is a big part of college, but it's not all of college. So
and like with judgment, I think too, like the longer you're in college, it's like that's just a crucial part of life and like growing up, that I think with time you start to take all those judgments less seriously, or at least it doesn't affect you or impact you in the same way, or at least that's been my experience, because I kind of live off the quote that sometimes it's best to be uncomfortable, because that can lead to forcing you to like change or like forcing progress. And I think that's kind of the way I view judgment from others, is that sometimes it's just what pressures you or forces you to move in a different direction that is best suited to you, type of thing.
And I know, Lily, you said before, you know yourself best.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something you could just come back to, because like some nights you'll want to do a certain thing and other nights you won't, and you don't have to feel like pressured by that or like bad about that.
And who knows, maybe one day, like, if you do want to go out and you're there for 10 minutes and you're like, I just want to go home. Like, there were so many times where I'm like, I'm just gonna walk to Domino's. So I would do that. Like, me and like literally 4 or 5 other of my friends, we would just go to Domino's, and then
There's no shame in an Irish
No.
goodbye. That's what I always say.
Yes.
That's my favorite way to leave.
Sometimes
Admittedly, sometimes it's just best to be like, I don't need to be here, and you head out whenever you feel like it, type of thing. And I think like that's also kind of advice that I would give to anyone that is worried about making friends in college, or just maybe struggling with it at this given time, is that your way of making friends doesn't have to match the way that everyone else is doing it. You don't have to force yourself to be in uncomfortable positions if you don't want to be, because I know there is pressure to do things that maybe others want you to do, but that doesn't necessarily foster the best relationships moving forward.
And I definitely want to point out that I definitely sympathize with other people in my position. We were going through such a hard application time, knowing that we're gonna have to make new friends, leave our families. It's such a hard time for everyone in the same position as me. And I just want to let everyone know that they're not alone who's listening to this. There's lots of people with you. Just want to make sure that everyone knows that they're not alone.
Speaking of college, I just wanted to say this one thing, and deciding on a college, because I know that was such it was just not, it was a stressful time.
You guys can't see my face, but I'm about it.
And I was in between 2 or 3 schools, and I was really upset that I ended up not being able to go to 2 of them and choosing one of them. But my sister told me that once you are at your college and you start living life, you don't think about other schools at all, and that
very true.
Very much rings true right now, because I really wanted to go to school in New York City and live that life, but I don't think about that. I mean, obviously I think about New York, but I don't think about colleges. I just do my day, and I feel like that's something that kind of helped me.
It's all of what you make of it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, things will change. Times will be hard, but then there'll be good times too. And it's just all about your own personal growth. And I feel like everyone's growth in college is different. So it's just, I don't know, you just have to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
So that sounds terrible to say, because I know it's college, but
no, I get that.
it's true.
And it goes by so fast. Now that I'm in my last year, I'm I don't know where the last 3 years have went. And I remember it being such a scary thing, and thinking about the 4 years that I would be living my first really adult type of years. But now going to leave that so soon, it's wow, there's still so much left to do, and there's still so much that I will end up missing that when I'm moving forward, that you don't really think about when you're going into it.
Especially from picking out a college. I'm applying to 21 colleges. That's a little bit not
And
normal.
she's stressed. No wonder. Gosh.
Because I am so I keep hearing you have to choose the right college for you, the right college for you. But there's so many colleges that I think I would fit so well into, and there's also colleges that I don't think I'd fit well into at all. But my whole list of schools, I think I would thrive at. And I think that you have to choose the right school for you. Is definitely something that stresses a lot of people out in my situation.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard from people that I just ask, that I've been really close friends with, that have gone to college and are doing great there, they'll always tell me every college could be the right college for you if you want to be there. And I think for me, there's definitely a few schools like on my list that I'm like, wouldn't really want to go there applying as a safety. But like, there's also a few schools on my list that I was like, wow, this like could really like be what I would love to like be in like the atmosphere. So I think from what I've taken from like that would be like, do what's best for you, and then like don't listen to like the pick what's best for you like theory, because like there's so many schools that could be best for you. Just like follow your instincts.
My dad gave me a really good piece of advice, like when I was in my senior year of college, or sorry, high school. I'm only a junior right now. With like what you said of like what's best for you, he told me like think about college, yes, but like what's gonna set you up best for like your life after college, because there is still like a whole life to live after college as well. And he always told me like make sure you put like academics above anything else. Like, does the school have what you want for like your like undergrad or like a master's? Like, do they offer programs? Like, he was like very big on like my academic side, because like obviously I play volleyball and like I wanted to do that, but he was always just like make sure it's gonna set you up in the future as well.
So my twin sister just committed to play volleyball at Williams College.
Oh, really? That's
In
awesome.
Massachusetts. And definitely for my parents too, it's like we want you to go to one of the top academic schools. She's very, very smart. Like very, very smart. Like kind of like not me, but well, I am smart, but like we're like different smarts. They were like, we want you to go to a school that you would thrive at. So like her options were like, they're like, you can play volleyball if you want to apply, like talk to the MIT coaches, the Williams coaches, Amherst, blah 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 blah. And like she was like, I just want to go somewhere where I can play volleyball. And my parents were like academics, so they like I think they found what's best for them. I think that's such a special thing.
Yeah. You definitely got to listen to your parents sometimes. Sometimes they're on.
Sometimes
They're onto something, but also you also have to tune them out a little bit at the same time because you want your experience to be your experience.
Right. I am currently tuning them out.
And sometimes you have to. It could be different for everyone for sure.
To conclude, we want to express our gratitude to St. Clair Health, whose support makes this podcast possible. We invite you to listen to the following message from our sponsor.
At St. Clair Health, we're always improving, building on our commitment to face the challenges of today, making an impact on the communities we serve, so we can be stronger together. St. Clair Health, expert care from people who care.
And we're grateful to everyone that tuned in for today's episode, and we hope we resonated with you for some of our points, and for supporting this podcast overall. We did want to just let Isabel talk about our upcoming event for this November.
Yeah, so it's going to be November 20th. It's an open mic night held at Bison Bites and Brew, which is a cafe at Point Park University. And it's going to be from 6 to 9. There is like an RSVP that you guys can fill out if you plan on sharing, but it's more geared toward writing than singing. So if you feel so inclined, you can share a poem, short story, quote, even a lecture, or just any piece of writing of your own, or just of something that you heard that you feel inspired by. And yeah, we hope to see you there.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
The views and opinions expressed in the Teens Tap In podcast represent the opinions of the hosts and their guests. The views and opinions expressed by Outreach Teen and Family Services employees, donors, and volunteers are their own and do not necessarily reflect the view of Outreach Teen and Family Services or the show's sponsors. The content here should not be taken as counseling advice. The content here is for informational purposes only, and because each person is unique, please consult your mental health provider or physician for any mental health counseling or other medical questions. The podcast should not be used in any legal capacity whatsoever, including, but not limited to, establishing a standard of care in a legal sense, or as a basis for expert witness testimony. No guarantee is given regarding the accuracy of any statements or opinions made on the podcast. If you find any error in any of the content of the podcast, please contact us at podcasts@outreachteen.org. Outreach Teen and Family Services, its sponsors, donors, and partners expressly disclaim any and all liability or responsibility for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or other damages whatsoever arising out of any individual's use of, reference to, reliance on, or inability to use this podcast or the information presented in this podcast. Please go to www.outreachteen.org to see the complete notice and disclaimer for the podcast episodes.